On this week's show, Liberty Football announces its 2024 schedule, and Shiloh Robinson, a man of few words, but see how he's made a big impact on Flames hoops.
Plus, we're going international to meet Lady Flame Claudia Acin, and it's a party on the show. Find out what we're celebrating. This is Flame Central. Celebrate good times. Come on. We've hit a major milestone in the show's history. I don't know if it gives it away or not with the graphic behind us. You'll get to experience a few blasts from the past a little later in the show. Thanks so much for joining us, and welcome into our Flame Central studios. As you may know, he's Matt and I'm Emily.
Yeah, we have a busy show ahead for you. We're hitting the hardwood, we're hitting the pitch, but we'll start things off on the gridiron with some exciting news for all of you planners out there.
Yeah, Matt, that's me. It's only February, but it's never too soon to plan out your entire fall around Flames football's 2024 schedule, which was just released. Let's take a look at some of those matchups. Liberty will look to defend its CUSA crown next season. The first big game in conference play is on the road against the Flames championship game opponent, New Mexico State. However, Matt, that Aggies team will look much different without head coach Jerry Kill and quarterback Diego Pavia. A couple back-to-back non-conference clashes to highlight: East Carolina and App State. LU will also see Kennesaw State, a new addition to CUSA next year, on the road in mid-October. And two big home games that should be some great competition: Jacksonville State on October 30th and Western Kentucky on November 23rd. Clear your schedules now and be sure to be out there and support your Flames come fall.
We shift to hoops. Now the Liberty men on a 3-game road swing. And, you know, winning on the road is always hard. But in Conference USA this season, it's been more difficult than ever. Heading into the midweek games, road teams in CUSA contests have gone 4-23. The Flames trying to buck that trend as they face New Mexico State on Thursday night in Las Cruces. It was the first time the Flames and Aggies had ever met, and Joseph Vinzant was trying to make it memorable. A couple of early throwdowns for the Flames Jr. would set the tone early on. This one would be tight and chippy throughout. In fact, 15 lead changes in this ball game. Zach Cleveland leading the way for the Flames with 23 points, matching his career high. But LU found themselves trailing by 2 in the final seconds. And that's when Cleveland would find Brody Peebles for the lay-in, and we would head to overtime, the second overtime game for the Flames this season. In OT, Liberty would go cold, while Christian Cook seemed to have every answer. He led the Aggies with 27 points. The Flames shoot a season-worst 6 of 31 from 3 as they fall in overtime on the road, 79-73.
We'll stay on the court for our next story. Shiloh Robinson has played basketball here at Liberty for the last 5 seasons. I haven't had many conversations with the super senior over the years. I mean, his teammates will tell you, he puts the shy in Shiloh. But one thing I've seen firsthand is his growth off the floor in his walk with God, but also on the floor as a vocal leader. Who is Shiloh Robinson?
Wow, what a question. There's a lot of layers to Shiloh Robinson.
Shy. Shiloh is a quiet, reserved, curious, I would say.
He's very unique in his own way, but he brings a joy that is very contagious for the people around him.
Shiloh Robinson, a unique character, very shy, not a big talker.
Young freshman Shiloh throughout the year. Let's see, from when he came in June of his freshman year to the end, he said maybe 122 words total.
Young Shiloh Robinson would be a man of few words, but he would also be a 17-year-old who would come a long way from home to play basketball at Liberty University.
I was born in Axtell, which is like 500 people, and then I moved to Kearney, which is like 30,000. So like Lynchburg's pretty decent size.
You're talking about a guy from western Nebraska, a long way away, putting a ton of trust in a lot of coaches and people around him. Just, he gets on a plane, leaves his parents for the first time, and shows up at the Lynchburg airport at like 3 a.m. His flight was delayed forever. It was like the worst trip ever to college, probably.
But Shiloh would stay positive.
2 in a row to the NCAA tournament for the Liberty Flames.
And in the last 5 years, he would experience some pretty incredible moments with his new family on the mountain.
The A-Sun three-peat is complete. The Liberty Flames reign atop the A-Sun continues.
But those moments wouldn't come without sacrifice, regardless of his role. In the starting five, a spark off the bench.
Robinson needs to hoist late in the shot clock. That goes down. Wow.
There would always be one constant with Shiloh. He would put the team first.
That's not common. You know, usually it's basketball can be very me-centric, and I think that's something that's very different about this team and very different about him. It's very rare and like something I look up to.
When I mean he embodies Liberty basketball, I think like his selflessness, his ability to lead, and his just confidence in who he is. Like I think that's really grown as well. He's so all in, and that really helps us.
I think his willingness to do whatever the team needs is something that all our guys have seen from day one to today. You're talking about a guy, you know, who's played at an all-league level, has started, all those things that a lot of people care about, and he's always been what's best for the team.
We as a program like want to pride ourselves on like being servants, so I think Shiloh is really at the top of that. He's willing to do whatever a teammate needs, and I've noticed that firsthand just from doing life with him every day.
Today, Shiloh is in his final season with the Flames. And he's grown in more ways than one. In his game,
That was a great find from Porter to Shiloh Robinson.
but more importantly, in his faith.
I think Coach McKay does a fantastic job of like building a great like culture and like drawing closer to God, like being obedient to Him, making decisions out of your convictions rather than opportunities.
And from that maturation, he's become one of the most respected voices in the locker room.
Get a lot of energy and enthusiasm and joy, like that helps us.
When he speaks, it has so much weight, and he does a really good job with his timing and just like the passion and belief he speaks with. It's contagious.
From year 1 to year 5, he's gone through a lot, and I think him being in those positions, and he knows exactly what a lot of us are going through, and he can say, hey, I've been there. So it's one of those things that you want to listen because of the respect that he's gained throughout the time he's been here.
It's a depiction of why you coach. What I walk away with from having his existence in our program for 5 years is a confidence that, man, if you just trust the Lord with what He puts on your heart or what you know He has for you, even in the moment you haven't received it yet, His faithfulness is true, and Shiloh is a representation of that, because it's been an awesome 5 years with a young man that I can say is truly family.
Matt, gotta love Shiloh Robinson. I asked a lot of the guys one word to describe him, and you heard unique, shy, but another one was genuine.
Yeah.
Coach Johnson said that he has this unique and amazing quality that he's able to read people's emotions and feelings, and he not only does that, but he's able to connect with them and walk through those difficult times with them, which I think is so amazing.
You said genuine. Another word I think of is authentic. Like he's not trying to put on some personality for anybody else. He just is who he is. And like you said, he's been such a key member of this group and has made, lifelong friendships with so many people in and around the program.
Yeah, it's been great to have him here on the mountain. All right, well, with the men on the road for a 3-game stretch, that means the Lady Flames have been making themselves at home at Liberty Arena. The first matchup of their 3-game home stretch ended in victory with a dominant defensive effort, holding Jack State to just 32 points. Will that defense show up again as the Lady Flames host New Mexico State? The short answer is yes, but we're going to pick it up on the offensive end, more specifically with a duo of Jordan Hodges and Bella Smuda. Hodges was hot early. She went 3 of 5 from behind the arc and finished the night with a career-high 20 points. And check out this stat line from Bella Smuda. What does Rhett call her? A Smuda Matata. 22 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. No, I'm not finished. Add on 3 steals and 3 blocks. What a game from her. Final score, 69-53.
All right, let's stay with women's hoops and talk about the person I believe is the best shooter on Liberty's campus. I'm talking about Emma Hess. We had her on this week's Flames Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage and discussed her expanded role this season and how she's had to evolve as a player. I feel like the last few years, you had Maya, you had some like, okay, these are the people that have been around, the veterans. They move on. How much has your role changed this season? Because I feel like past couple of years, obviously you've always been a great three-point shooter, and you pass it in the post, maybe they forget about you for a minute, they kick out, you've got an open look. Like, you're at the top of the scouting report this season, still having your best year, over 12.5 points per game. But how has that changed the way you have to approach an attack on the offensive end?
Well, I've really had to find ways to create my own shot more, so I can't really just shoot standing open threes because that just doesn't happen for me much anymore. So I've had to figure out how to drive, create my own shot in other ways, and I think that's really helped me like kind of break out a little bit more this year.
To hear our entire conversation with Emma and to hear my take on the Chiefs going back to the Super Bowl, as well as Emily's intense dislike for Taylor Swift, check out this week's Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage. We talk all things Liberty sports as well as other things. Find the podcast on Spotify, other places as well, or you can watch it on the Liberty Flames YouTube channel.
You know, it's not easy making the transition to college. For a student athlete, that's the case in the classroom and in his or her respective sport. For women's basketball player Claudia Acin, she would make those adjustments 4,000 miles away from home, which is across the pond in Girona, Spain. But thankfully, she's finding a family here on the mountain.
Girona es una ciudad del este de España, llena de historia, arquitectura y tradiciones ancestrales. Esta ciudad también vio nacer a una de las más recientes adiciones del equipo de baloncesto femenino de Liberty University.
La vida en Girona para mí es muy diferente a la de aquí. Todos nos conocemos entre todos, todo es mucho más pequeño y entonces eso por una parte me gusta. En Girona el baloncesto es conocido porque tanto como en hombres como en mujeres tenemos dos equipos en la máxima categoría. Entonces en femenino hay el equipo Unigirona que siempre ha estado a la máxima categoría y mucha gente lo va a ver.
Presenciar los partidos de baloncesto del UNE Girona en su ciudad y su actitud hacia el deporte inspiraron a Claudia desde que tenía 6 años.
Yo empecé a jugar a baloncesto, solo lo veía como un juego, una diversión. Entonces, poco a poco, no competía, después empecé a competir y yo me defino como una competidora nata.
Desde que llegó a Liberty, Claudia ha experimentado un crecimiento en la cancha, pero también en su fe y en la construcción de relaciones con quienes la rodean.
Me gustó mucho lo que los entrenadores me transmitieron. Lo encontré un lugar muy seguro, donde también podía aprender diferentes cosas, diferentes culturas. Y estoy aprendiendo a estar cerca de Dios de otra manera. Creo que esto puede enriquecer mi fe. Me llevo muy bien con todas las chicas del equipo. Creo que todas son muy sociables, muy buenas chicas. Y siempre sé que puedo hablar con ellas de lo que sea y ellas me entenderán y me intentarán ayudar. Siempre que compito, mi mente solo está metida en el partido, en el entrenamiento, da igual lo que sea. Yo estoy metida al 100%. A mí realmente sí que me gusta ser una base, una point guard, porque creo que tenemos que lidiar con mucha presión, porque subimos la bola y tenemos la bola muchas veces en nuestras manos. Y también me gusta como ordenar la jugada. También me gusta mucho las asistencias. Me gusta pasar la pelota y encontrar a la jugadora sola.
La idea de dejar su hogar para vivir en un nuevo país puede ser desalentadora, pero cuando Claudia considera lo que ha ganado a través de esta experiencia, se alegra de haber dado un paso de fe y de haber llegado a Liberty.
Yo el año pasado tenía mis dudas, tenía ofertas de Estados Unidos, tenía ofertas en España y no sabía muy bien qué hacer. Entonces hubo un punto del año que dije, vale, no me voy a Estados Unidos, me quedo en España. Pero entonces hubo un clic en mi mente que dije, guau, es que si no lo pruebo ahora, puede que no vuelva a tener esta oportunidad nunca más. Vivir en Estados Unidos yo creo que tiene sus pros y sus contras. Venir aquí fue como un cambio grande, todo es a lo grande, pero para mí los pros ganan. Lo que duele es que tengo que estar lejos de mi familia y amigos, pero a la vez aquí el deporte está mucho más profesionalizado, entonces me permite sacarme una carrera en 4 años y a la vez estar haciendo el deporte que realmente me gusta, y esto es muy bueno.
We need to take a quick time out, but when we come back, big preseason expectations for Liberty Lacrosse.
And Rhett McGibbon joins the show to share his top Flames athletes of the week. That's all when Flames Central returns.
Welcome to Liberty University's online programs, where living out your calling with integrity is what you train to do. And getting ready for the future doesn't mean missing out on the now. Because a university is more than buildings and books. And an education should set you free, not fence you in. Welcome to Liberty's global campus, where distance learning was pioneered and evolved into one of the top-ranked schools in the nation. Where protecting your budget, your time, and your education isn't just a theory, it's our priority. Here, degrees in your field reflect industry demands and help you get ahead of the competition. Where college comes to you, but you can come to college too. Game day, homecoming, graduation day. Your school, your values, your experience, your choice. Welcome to Liberty University, where we train champions for Christ.
A college degree is more than a diploma. It's taking control of your future and finding that next step. At Liberty University, we not only care about your career, we also care about your calling, and we want to help you learn, develop, and grow so you can make an impact as a champion for Christ. Over 600 online programs, one you, infinite possibilities. Being a parent and helping your kids through school, it's not exactly easy. I mean, there's waking up at 5 a.m., the morning routine, helping with homework, sitting in traffic. You get it. What if there was a way you could get your kids a quality Christian education where they can work at any pace, any time, from anywhere? School that works for your schedule and frees your kids to keep doing what they love. Well, that's exactly what we do. LUOA, school that goes where you do.
Welcome back to Flames Central. As you may know, many Liberty sports joined Conference USA this season. However, because CUSA doesn't have lacrosse, the Lady Flames will remain in the ASUN and picked up some high praise from the conference heading into the season. Cammie Merkel, Mackenzie Lehman, and Taylor Gallarello were all named to the 2024 preseason All-ASUN team. Gallarello was the only goalkeeper named to the preseason ASUN team. Merkel was also chosen as the ASUN Preseason Player of the Year, while Lehman was selected as the ASUN Midfielder of the Year. All in all, there are some high expectations for this talented Liberty squad, and it follows in the poll rankings. Here's a look at those preseason polls. All right, Jacksonville is predicted to repeat as conference champs with Liberty landing in second. Remember, LU had a breakout season last year, beating its first ever ranked opponent in, drumroll please, Jacksonville. Where are you, Matt Warner? Back in April 2023. But then the Lady Flames fell in overtime in the ASUN Conference Championship game to, yes, those same Dolphins. My drum roll was broken. I have a feeling, Matt, the Lady Flames won't be splashing around in the ASUN this season.
Matt, with jokes like that, it is a miracle that the show has made it 10 years.
It really
is. Goodness.
Okay, I don't respond to drum rolls, by the way, just so we're all clear on that. All right, Rhett McGibbon's here. We're on EnFuego, top player moment from the past week in Liberty Athletics. Rhett, do you have a theme this week?
I do. It's National Tater Tot Day coming up. You like some tots?
Love me some tots.
Yeah.
Love me some tots.
That's good stuff. I don't really have this correlating with the athletes, to be honest.
That was
it could get a little bit
public
crazy.
Service announcement.
Yeah, exactly. Our warm athlete, I'm kind of going, tater tots have to be hot, right?
Course.
Like, you have to have them hot. If they're cold, you might as well let that guy from Napoleon Dynamite kick you in the pocket.
Give me some of your tots.
That's right.
Yeah.
And steal your tots. But warm this week, Megan Toohey, diver for the Liberty swimming and diving team. ASUN Diver of the Week. Liberty as a whole has received this honor 6 times this season. Wow. So Liberty divers getting the job done. She was second place in the 3-meter, first place in the 1-meter. Closest competitor to her was 15 points back in the 1-meter. So great week for Megan. Hard to believe, you know, you kind of look at these athletes and you're like, man, I remember when she was a freshman. Like when that name came in, doing big things, you're like, she's gonna have a great career. Well, she's had a great career, a senior now. Just incredible to see how far she has come and doing great things again for LU.
Absolutely. All right, from warm we go to hot.
All right, your tater tots have to be crispy, right? You need that crisp. You crunch into that thing and it almost makes you deaf. Like that's what you want. Also making some big noise here for LU this week when it comes to men's tennis is Luis Felipe Miguel. This guy, just a newcomer to LU, is just doing some big things. CUSA menace.
He has been a menace to anyone that's faced him, Rhett.
That's right. Tennis athlete of the week. I was going for men's tennis there, if you can imagine. 4-0 this week. A great battle versus JMU. Everybody hates JMU, it seems like, in Libertyville right now, right? Not exactly sure why, but he and his partner battled back from being down 5-4 and 6-5 to win 7-6 and get that important doubles point. Great week for him, and hey, good things on the mountain. Keep going, buddy. Men's tennis off and rocking early on.
Great program there. All right, finally, Rhett, EnFuego and whatever your tot.
You gotta have some quality ketchup. You just don't want like
also ranch dressing. Is
I kind of like to take a little hot sauce, mix it in with the ketchup.
Or just cover them in cheese and bacon. I mean, there's a lot of options here.
Yeah, some chives.
That's right.
Hey, we're going here. Katie Irvine, freshman, pole vaulter. Well, she has been absolutely on fire. 4 meets in a row, she has broken her own Liberty freshman record.
Wow.
So that in itself is just like,
yeah.
hey, you're off to a quality start. We're talking about Toohey earlier. You remember her as a freshman. Remember Katie Irvine as a freshman. She is 6th in the nation among freshmen for how high she's gone. 13 feet, 8.5 inches. Wow. She has been rocking it this season, and track and field, they are just looking like a dominant force once again. Every week coming in, CUSA gives out their weekly awards. It's typically headlined by multiple Flames.
That program, maybe the most underrated program on campus with the kind of dominance they've had over the years. Rhett, great job as always. We're going to see Rhett again in just a moment because still to come, it's a big anniversary for us here at Flame Central. We'll look back at where it all began and hear from some people you might recognize. That's when Flame Central returns.
welcome back to the show. Brett, joining us for the final segment because we have some celebrating to do. It is the 10-year anniversary of this show first being on air.
It didn't start as Flame Central. Some of you may remember it was instead known as Game On. Let's take a look at some of those early days.
Oh, boy.
Safe to say we have come a long way since then. Game On started 10 years ago as a daily show, talking about everything in the sports world, along with Liberty Athletics. Over the years, the format changed. Look at that young Rhett McGibbon.
Look at that.
We became
young
a weekly show focused entirely on the Flames. Our name changed. Our graphics thankfully improved considerably. And even some of the hosts have changed over the years. In fact, a couple former hosts wanted to join in on the celebration.
Congratulations on your 10-year anniversary. It's so amazing to look back at your history, and I'm so honored to be a part of your story. I remember all the amazing times we used to have together as we were creating a new network and a new show, Game On. So many amazing times that we had together covering sports around the world and covering Liberty. I specifically remember the one time that we went down the sled hill at Snowflakes. I don't know why we were covering that story. I think Snowflakes maybe just opened, but we used to have such a great time together. And so congratulations, enjoy this milestone, and here is to many more years ahead.
Congratulations on 10 years. Wow, what an amazing accomplishment. I am Clement Townsend, one of the former anchors, and when I did the show back in the day, it was called Game On. And one of the segments that stands out to me is when we did something called Keepers of the Flame. That was actually athletes sharing their favorite Bible verses and really talking about what those scriptures means to them. That was so impactful to me as well, and it always stands out. So congratulations and best of luck to another 10 years to come.
Wow, you guys have aged considerably.
I mean, we just get better and better looking over these. Imagine how good we'll look in 10 more years.
Wow.
You know?
Fully white hair, it'll be great.
A lot of great memories. Rhett, you and I have been here since the beginning. What stands out when you think about 10 years?
I think one of my favorite stories going back 10 years is George Miklas. He was the harmonica player that was a bus driver at Liberty, and just to see how God used the story that we were able to produce on him, and he ended up getting his doctorate and now teaches music in the area. Really cool to see how God used that.
I feel like just having you guys as brothers when I'm dancing and singing and doing ridiculous, scripts, your reactions are really what...
Being Emily's life coach is my favorite memory. No, but also just seeing so many people at the Fiesta Bowl that we've done stories on over the years.
The pepper or the... Oh, man,
it was so cool to connect with so many of those people. Once again, we've been doing this a long time, and it kind of hits you when you start looking back at all the stories that we've done. All right, well, as always, if you want to catch up on any stories you might have missed, go to libertyflamecentral.com.
And for the podcast, be sure you subscribe. Flame Central Podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage. A new episode drops every Monday. For Matt and Rhett, I'm Emily. We'll see you next week.